Hello everyone and welcome back guys to what will be my finale from the FIA 2020 Manufacturer Series pre-season, where we're back for round 7. We're here at the Red Bull Ring and the last few rounds haven't quite gone the way I wanted, so hopefully today we can try to finish our series on a high. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make the final round of the championship, so it'll just be this one. Hopefully going to try and score some good points to, you know, recover what we can from what has been an up and down championship. We had a couple of highlights. Obviously, week 2 at the Fuji was a very, very good race. And then also we had another good result a couple of races ago. Yeah, where was it? Maggiore, we had quite a good recovery drive there as well. But, you know, we've had some disappointing races as well. Spa, obviously, that disconnect to start the championship. And then, obviously, a couple of rough results. Tokyo and last time at Sardinia both scream to mind as well. But yeah, hopefully round 7 we can try and have a good race here today. We're starting P5 on the grid, a couple of McGanns and an SLS as well as something else there just in front of us, ready for this race. I think it's actually a McLaren up in P2 here. And yeah, the Red Bull Ring I do quite enjoy. Tend to go better on, you know, the real life circuits than the fake GT Sport ones. They just don't really suit me as well. But yeah, get ready then. It's 5 lights for the final round of the championship for myself, and it's a lights out. And away we go here, starting on the racing softs. And this combo does hold a little bit of history for myself. This is where I took my very first league racing win on, I think it was ILR at the time, they're inside line racing. We managed to win in this car around this circuit in a very, very similar distance race as well here. Is already coming through someone trying to look around the outside of the Renault Megane here. Could potentially make a move work already in this race. The Megane struggles a bit towards the top end there, and yeah, we're straight up the inside. He's going to try and have a look up the inside in towards the hairpin at the top of the hill there and actually make it work there. The other McGann gets spat around by the Mercedes there, so that puts the McLaren up into the lead. The Mercedes picks up a 2-second time penalty. We're 3 wide as we head down the hill here. The McGann just has to bail out of that one. We're going to try and look around the outside of the Mercedes as we head down the hill here. And after all of that, we get muscle out wide and pick up a 1-second time penalty from that, forcing another car off the track. Not too sure where that happened. The McGann picks up a 2-second time penalty, and I'm not too sure who it was on the inside there. He comes off scot-free in all of that, so really not too sure how that works out. But we'll have to serve our 1-second time penalty as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of this opening lap here. So not quite the ideal start, but we've learned a lot from this championship. We need to keep our head down, keep our cool, and see where we end up here. Having a look, obviously serving the penalty, so we can't really have a look around the outside of him there. The other Porsche even, sorry, I should say. No, it was a Renault even. I can't get my words right. Is obviously going to take his penalty as well there. So the end of lap 1, we have lost 1 place, but we're still in touch with the top runners at the moment here. And on towards the end of lap 2 here, you can see we're now fighting with the Caymans once again here. And they're actually going to let us go 3 wide down the middle as we head in towards the final couple of corners of lap 2 here. And now back up into P5 of this race here. So still making all right progress at the moment. And luckily at the moment we were monitoring the gap to the race leaders here. And that gap was actually coming down, not going up, as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 2 here. A 38.1 new personal best of the race there. There's battles going on between the Mercedes and the BMW as we head down towards turn 1 there. The BMW runs himself completely off the road, tries to slow down so he avoids a penalty, and that is just going to be straight up into P4 of the race here. So yeah, making good progress at the moment, keeping it consistent, keeping it tidy after those lap 1, even that little bit of a messy start to this race. But up towards the top of the hill once again, all over the back now of the Mercedes as well, trying to get in the suck zone, as you can see by the end of lap 3. Now we will piling on the pressure as best as possible here, taking 2 seconds out of the race leaders on that lap alone there as we head out of the final couple of corners here. Can we get a good run down towards turn 1 here? It looks like we have actually got a very decent run on the Mercedes here with the inside line as well, a 37.4. Not quite the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but very, very close there as we head down in towards turn 1. Then we're going to park it nice and tidily on the apex. The Mercedes actually on the exit, clearly not happy with that one, flashing his lights at us just behind, if I'm not mistaken there. So yeah, we're now back up into P3. We've actually got another Renault all over the back of us as well there. That British guy in the Renault was very, very quick over the course of this race there. Didn't quite get the start he wanted. I think he was the guy that got span around on lap 1 there, so clearly already making a good recovery at the moment. But yeah, we need to keep our nose clean over the next couple of laps and try to close down this gap to the top 2. And you can see already by lap 6 all over the back of the McLaren here, set the purple first sector of the lap here. As you can see, everyone bunching up just behind us as well. The McLaren doesn't quite get the run off turn 1 here. These softs are really starting to go off as well here, but we're still in the slipstream here. The McLaren, though, very, very quick in the top end speed department there. Even with the slipstream, we're struggling to really make any sort of gains on him as we head in towards the next corner there, but he can't quite get the car slowed down. We think about trying to have a look up the inside on the exit of the corner there, but once again, the straight line speed of the McLaren there, just the raw torque, I think, of the beast as we head down the hill there, coughing up flames as well. That is a nice, cool party piece as well that you love to see there, but struggling through the twisty bits there as we head down towards the bottom of the S section here, the end of Sector 2, and we're now up into P2 of the race. We're going to have to dive it into the pit lane on the end of this lap here, just try and take the mediums as far as we can in this race, and then take the hards through the final couple of laps here. They changed up the tyres once again. Obviously, last week we could only use the hard tyres. I got no idea why that was a decision that was made there, but getting very, very loose into the pit lane there. Luckily, only just get put into the cut screen before we spin out there. We would have lost a lot of time through that, but yeah, we're going to dive it in onto a set of the medium compounded tyres. We're not actually going to bother with any fuel there because we need to pit again before the end of this race here. Yeah, so you can see coming back out now, it's going to be about P6, I think. The game's saying P15, but yeah, P6 we come back out of the pit lane here. We're going to probably lose a couple more places. A couple of Porsches fly past us. We've got a McLaren as well. Try and have a look up around the outside, actually, towards the top of the hill here. So hopefully we can try and defend from him with a fresher rubber there. He has got a bit of a better run there. We're just going to go full send back up the inside there. Contact actually between the Porsches. So that's going to be us up yet another place here. And it's all starting to fall into place for ourselves at the moment here. We're in the slipstream of yet another Cayman here. I feel I spent all of this championship going on about Caymans over the last couple of weeks. It's just all you seem to see in this series as we head back down the hill here. You can see the Cayman just in front, running a bit wide there. Hopefully we can try and get past him as quickly as possible there. He actually completely cuts across us then. Not too sure what that was all about. Just reminding him we are there. Is he going to have a look up the inside? No, he thinks better of it. Tries to park it in behind us there. Punts us very, very deep through the corner there. So we're going to try and ruin his run off the exit there. Make sure he can't force us wide into the gravel. Otherwise he'll get himself a penalty there. And yeah, we're now back up into P4. Wouldn't take long before we were all over the back of the GT86. They're getting a much better run as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 8 here. And yeah, up the inside we go. Now back up into the podium places as we head down in towards the final couple of corners. So you can see the Polish guy and the British guy both diving into the pit stops there. They were actually on mediums and softs here. So the British guy able to take those softs 8 laps in this race. So a fantastic job by him there as we head down in towards turn 1 though. We are now going to be up into the lead of the race there. I think that's actually the McLaren. He's going to come out just behind us there. Yes, he's still up in P2 at the moment. But now we've got a good 1 second margin here. Hopefully we can stay out the suck zone and hold on ready for our second and hopefully final pit stop of the day here as we head up towards the top of the hill. Just want to be setting nice, clean and consistent laps at the moment there, and that is exactly what we do until the end of lap 13. You can see a couple of 37s then dropping down into the 38s over the next couple of laps here. But the end of lap 13 we would dive it in for our second and hopefully last pit stop of the day here. A bit of a tidier run that time round as we dive it in, and unfortunately we made a big mistake there. We forgot to fill up the car as well with extra fuel. That's going to cost us a lot of time in the final few laps of this race there. That is a critical mistake that we did not need to make in this race there. We're also going to lose some SR. Not too sure what happened there. But yeah, we've only got 3 laps of fuel. We've got 4 laps now between us and the end of the race there. We pick up a 5/10 penalty as well for ignoring track limits in the pit lane there. And over the end of the next couple of laps here, we're going to have to dive it in again. There is no way we're going to be able to make it through to the end of this Grand Prix here. And really, I probably should have pit on the end of that lap, tried to utilise the softs as best as possible here. But that's what we're going to have to do end of lap 15 here. We were back up into P2. We were in a fight for the race victory here, but unfortunately, with just a small critical mistake there, we run a bit wide actually into the pit lane. That's probably going to be yet another penalty And we were slowly recovering a bit of fuel, but it was not going to be enough. And for the second time in this championship, we're going to have to do a splash and dash right at the very end of a race here. Just things I need to learn ready for the real series. Obviously, this is why I've been doing all these pre-season events as well at the end of the day. Then we're going to come back out of the pit lane. I think it's going to be about P6 here. So we're going to have to try and recover as best as possible over these last couple of laps here. We've got yet another half-second time penalty. But on to the end of lap 16 here. You can see we've got so much extra grip and pace than these guys. It almost felt like a multi-class race as we head out of the final corner here, all over the back of the GT86. Hopefully we can try and recover just about anything in this race here. Having a look up the inside maybe in towards Turn 1 there. The GT86 is going to have to brake much earlier there, so we're going to slip up the inside now up into P5 here. We've got the McLaren now just up the road there. I don't think the GT86 was too happy with the send in towards Turn 1, but you know, we're trying to recover anything we can at the moment. There is still a potential of a podium here if these guys still battle just up in front of us here, but unless someone runs out of fuel, I don't think we're going to be able to get much more out of this race. And the McLaren just in front now, battling with yet another GT86, and you can see just how much time we're gaining out of the pair of them here. We'd already taken about a second and a half out of the race leaders as well here as we head down towards the hill there. But the McLaren, he's going to try and look up the inside of the GT86. We gained so much on the pair of them there that McLaren actually muscles the 86 out wide, which is going to really help us out there. Don't even need to worry about making the overtake as we head now down the hill in towards the final few corners of Sector 2 there. We tried to have a look around the outside, then McLaren low muscles us out wide, but there's going to be nothing he can do. Switchback move up the inside. We're purple still with everything going on at the moment as we head down in towards the final couple of corners of this race there. Yeah, 2.5 seconds, almost 3 seconds now taken out of the race leaders there. But despite the wipeout on lap 1, the British guy in the McGann is going to come through for the race victory there. The pole, I think, I'm not actually too sure what he was in as well. That comes through for P2. I think he was in the Mercedes at the end of the day. But we recovered to P3 in the end there. It could have been P1. It was probably going to be P2 there, but we take the fastest lap as well there. Yeah, behind the Britishman in the McGann, the SLS in P2 there. And yeah, we finished the series with a podium. Very happy with that result at the end of the day, ahead of the McLaren, as well as obviously some more SLSs, more McLarens, GT86s there, and Caymans. It really did feel like we stuck out like a sore thumb at the end of the day there. But yeah, a really good fun series as well in the end. Thank you all so much for watching. We will be back for the real series starting very soon as well there. But yeah, that'll do us for this video though, guys, and hopefully I will see you back here next time out. Well, we'll be ready for the real FIA 2020 series.